Hi guys, this is Mr. Krogmeyer here with a walkthrough of Windows Movie Maker. I'm going to try to help you guys out with your director mashup project. Movie Maker is a great program. It's pretty simple to use, but I want to make sure everybody knows how to use it. There's two things you want to make sure you have before you start. If you're looking at your Movie Maker program, you need to make sure you have this record narration button. And if you don't, that means you have an older version of Movie Maker and you need to get the updated version. You can find that on Google Classroom, and you're going to need Mr. Krogmeyer to put in the password for you to install a new program. So once you have this looking version of Movie Maker, you're good. And you also need to make sure you get all of your movie clips off of the internet. And you could do that through your phone, you could do that on YouTube, however you want to do it. Make sure that you get those clips all in one place, you know where they're at. We're trying to find a lot of different ways to do that on the internet. You got a lot of different websites that can do that, but if you can't figure it out, let me know and I will help you through that process. Once you have those two things set up, then you're ready to start plugging the clips in. So I'm going to drag and drop, and it says add photo or video, so I'm just going to drop it in there. And then it's going to take a little while to prepare the file. It has to compress them, and it has to make them easier to edit. Whatever. It's going to take a little while on this progress bar right here. So if you want to wait for that, and try not to do all of your files at once because it can get a little daunting and maybe it gets a little overwhelmed. But you do one at a time. It shouldn't take too long, as you can see it working here. So as we're waiting for that one to load in, we're probably going to throw in another one here. We'll throw in a shining clip to see how long those two take. And as we're waiting for that, I'm going to show you guys how to do the beginning and the ending. The beginning has to have a title, so you go here and you click title, and it will automatically give you this text here of my movie. You want that text to say something to the effect to introduce your reader, so maybe it says director mashup, and then maybe it says Stanley Kubrick, something like that. Now if you want to go back and edit this text at any time, you just double click the text and it'll bring up this little text tools toolbar here, and you can play with the text. You can change the font, you can change the size, you can change even the color, you can get crazy with it. So anything you want to do there to make it more interesting, you can move it around a little bit and figure out ways to make it more interesting. Now there's all kinds of other things you can play with that I won't show you to do. You can get creative with the transitions. You can see how those go if they hover over them there. So whatever you want to do there, and remember that you can also use this little title slide as maybe a transition between your patterns. So if you have 3 patterns, or if you want to use it for any other number of creative ways. A similar sort of window comes up if you click credits, and you're going to all need a credits link at the end. So you want it to say works cited, and you want to put in the movies that you're using. So I'll put in my films from Kubrick. And you can do the same things. You can change the font. I won't show you all that stuff. You can change the effects. A lot of people like the standard scrolling in version, so that's fine. Alright, so you should have a works cited page. You should have credits or a title page. So now we need to make sure we know how to do 2 things. We know how to edit the videos and we know how to save them. So I'm going to try to walk you guys through that. The videos themselves, if you click on them, it brings up this video tool link here, and you can click the edit tab, and then you have all kinds of options here. You can fade in and out. You can change the video volume here, so if you're not dealing with the sound, you might bring it down so that we can hear your voiceover a little bit better, or if we need to hear the sound and your voiceover is not going on at that time, then bring it up. And then we have the trim tool, which is the important part. So if you click trim tool, you're going to get this set up here. You can click play and you can watch the clip. You can try to figure out where you want to start the clip. We're watching. Maybe we want to start it right there. So I hit pause, and I can hit set start point, and this beginning bar will move right to where I am currently. Or if you just want to drag the bars themselves and move around, you could do it that way. Okay. So then let's say that's my clip that I want to use. I hit save trim, and then it'll shrink it down. And let's say I wanted to use 2 trimmed clips from that same clip, that same larger clip. I can just copy that and I can paste, and I can go back into the trim tools and I can change that so I still have access to all that other stuff if I wanted to. I can maybe get in this right here. So now I have access to the whole clip, even though I copied the smaller clip. I can save that new trim, and now I have this earlier part of the clip, and I have this later part of the clip. So two different parts of the same clip, and so that's how you use the trim tool. So if you want to do that with all of your clips, you can see how your clips will show you this little audio thing here, and make sure that you play with the audio. Make sure you make everything the way you want it. Let's say we trimmed everything together and we've got it set. Now we're going to go ahead and record the narration. That's where that button comes in handy right here. So if you want to write down what you're going to say, that's fine. If you want to go a little more impromptu and just talk as it's going, that's fine. But once you're ready, once you're sure you have everything set up the way you want over here, this is the last step. You'll actually record your voice. When you click that, it's going to ask you to start right here, wherever the cursor is, and now it's recording my voice as I'm talking to you guys right now. And so it records, it does pretty standard job. There's nothing to really play with here until you hit stop. And then we can play with that once we save it. And you may want to save it somewhere where you can remember where it's at, but there it pops in right there. You can see the audio in the same way as we have those bars on the videos. So you can play with those. You can see we have the tab for the video, but we also have now the tab for the narration. So in the same way we can change the narration volume just like we could have changed the video volume, same thing. Okay, so make sure you play with that. And then you can set the start times, you can move it around, but I don't think you'd probably want to do that. So just make sure that your narration fits perfectly with the video, and then you're set. Alright, so let's say we have all of our narration done. We're positive we like it. We've watched it all the way through once to make sure it's good, and we're ready to save it. Now, the problem a lot of people do is they go over here because Windows is commonly saving button is right here, but that's not where we want to save it. This only saves the project. You see that right there? Save project. So instead of saving the project, we need to save the movie. Okay, the project is just the collection of all these files put in the order you put them, and the video and the audio and all that. The movie is going to save it into an actual video that we can watch all in one file. So that's what we want. And if it helps to remember, you need an MP4 file. So when you click save, it should give you this right here, .mp4. So if we want to save it somewhere where you can remember it, it will then start processing my video, and it'll take a little while to piece together all the different things that we've told it to piece together. But once that's done, then you will have a .mp4, you will have a video file, and then you upload that file straight to your school YouTube account. And then when you go to Classroom, you're going to share that URL with me. You're going to fill out the rubric, the self-assessment, and you're going to hand that in, and that's it. So I hope that you really enjoy this project as a little more creative way to show your knowledge of this class. I hope that it becomes something that's a little more fun and a little bit easier to share with others, and since you have a YouTube clip rather than a piece of paper or a project. So I hope you guys like this project. It's a lot of fun. It's really interesting, and I hope that it expands your mind as to how directors work and what sort of patterns they have. And I hope that this video has helped you use Movie Maker. But as usual, if you need help, please ask me. Please seek me out, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Good luck.